Hi y'all. Well, how are you guys doing? We're back with another formula today, and we're going to be making a beautiful, gentle liquid shampoo. This is a really nice formula that is really easy to make. Liquid shampoos can be made to be more hydrating and moisturizing or more cleansing. I personally prefer using more hydrating shampoos that are gentle on my hair. I have very dry, somewhat coarse and fine hair, so it doesn't do well being stripped. You can totally use a fragrance oil in this if you want. I decided to use a homemade Mandarin hydrosol that I made and a Mandarin peel extract, which both really gave it a very rich natural scent and color, which was quite lovely. You can just use regular water and an essential oil or fragrance oil to scent this if you want. Before we dive in, please like and subscribe to my channel, and also go have a look at my Patreon if you get a chance. We cover in-depth formulating topics, and I share way more formulas over there than I do over here on YouTube. And I also offer a tier on there for those who are wanting to sell skincare. We cover business topics like how to start your business. We just started a series on what to do when you are starting your business, so for people just starting out who really don't know what to do. So a lot of good information is over there. All right, let's get into some of these ingredients. Some of the surfactants we're going to be using for cleansing are foaming apple, Coco Betaine, and sodium lauryl sulfacetate. I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to say it. These are all really gentle cleansers. Now, the SLS is a natural Cosmos approved surfactant, and you don't have to use this in the formula if you decide not to. Just take that percentage and add it to the foaming apple cleanser. I like using this in liquid shampoo formulas because it adds a really deep lather to it, more so than with just liquid surfactants. So you can use up to 4% in a liquid formula. Okay, what is foaming apple? It's made from apple amino acids, and it has a really nice gentle lather, and it's the main anionic surfactant in this formula. Coco Betaine is derived from coconuts, and it's the co-surfactant in this formula. It's also really gentle, and it gives a really nice lather. I always use this as a co-surfactant in cleansing formulas. Let's talk about some of our hydrating and conditioning ingredients. We're going to be using an ingredient called Honeyquat, which is a quaternizing ingredient, which basically binds moisture to the hair better. Acceptable substitutions would be other quats like polyquat. Now, you want to include a humectant in this formula. We're going to keep it simple with glycerin. We're also going to add some dimethicone to this, as it's excellent for hair and it helps with frizz and smoothing the hair shaft. You always want an ingredient like dimethicone in hair care or silicone because there's really nothing else that can do what it does for your hair. You can use an ester if you don't have a silicone, or capric caprylic triglycerides. You could use those in place of it. And we also want to include a protein in this because our hair loves proteins. It helps keep it healthy. So we're going to use soy protein. You can use any other one you like. And of course, we're going to use Panthenol, which is hair's best friend in a formula. It's vitamin B5. Now, we don't need an emulsifier in this because the surfactants have some solubilizing abilities, so they will solubilize the silicone or esters or oil that we add, as long as we add them in very small amounts. You really don't want to add oils to this like olive or avocado. You can if you are just dead set on it, but keep it under 2%. And if you add an oil, make it be a really lightweight one, so no olive oil or avocado oil. My preservative that I'm going to use is Germall Plus. You want to use a water-soluble preservative in this. Germall Plus is hands down the easiest to use in my opinion. And for thickening, we are going to use just plain Xanthan Gum Soft. You can use hydroxyethyl cellulose if you want. It can be hard to thicken surfactant formulas, but xanthan and hydroxyethyl cellulose are ones that many people have on hand. You can buy specific thickeners that are made for surfactant formulas, which we will talk about more in another video. Supplies you'll need are a scale, spatulas, heat-safe jars or containers, pH readers, and bottles to store these in. Now, extracts, you can use whichever ones you want. I like ones that are good for hair and known for circulation. So like licorice root is really nice, hawthorn extract or agave extract or even green tea extract. Whatever you want, it's totally your choice. Let's look at the formula. So this formula is only going to have an A phase and a C phase. We aren't having a B phase or an oil phase. We aren't technically emulsifying anything. We are going to gently heat some of phase A to help the SLS dissolve better, but it won't be super hot. And I personally like to add my xanthan and glycerin at the very end, but you're welcome to add it before we heat it. It's pretty flexible that way. I just like adding the thickener at the end because it's easier to stir things in while things are still very thin and runny. Now, if we want to make this more cleansing, you can increase the foaming apple up to 9% if you want. And Coco Betaine, you'll see me write that. It's short for cocamidopropyl betaine, but it's just easier than writing out the whole word. So I did a 285 gram batch, and these are the weights for that. Okay, let's make this stuff. First, we're going to add our hydrosol, SLS, foaming apple, and cocamidopropyl betaine.
Keep all your game, highs and lows, highs and lows. It's all the same, highs and lows, highs and lows. Keep all your game, highs and lows, highs and lows. It's all the same, highs and lows, highs and lows.
We're going to give that a little mix and then put it on the heat for just a short while, just until the SLS is fully dissolved. We're going to take that off the heat and let it cool a bit before we add our heat-sensitive ingredients. So we're going to start out with our Honeyquat and then our Soy Protein. Next is our silicone. And then after that is our Mandarin Extract at 2%. Next is our Panthenol at 2%. And then our preservative. Now, gently hand mix that. We aren't using an immersion blender because it will turn the whole thing into bubbles. Let's set that aside, and now we're going to do our glycerin and xanthan gum mixture. You typically want to dissolve xanthan gum in glycerin or another humectant like propanediol, and that's because it's really known for clumping when you try to add it to water. So doing it this way will allow the formula to easily turn into a gel with no clumping. Now we're going to add that to our water phase and gently mix that all together.
Keep all your game, highs and lows, highs and lows.
After several minutes, you will see the formula thickening up quite a bit. I like 2% for Xanthan Gum because it just makes a really nice thicker gel that is still easily pourable. Now we're going to test the pH. The pH of shampoos should be similar to that of our skin. I like it at around 5 on the dot.
So to say, highs and lows, highs and lows. Keep all your game, highs and lows, highs and lows.
Now the pH is good. I really want to see how this feels before I pour it into a bottle, and that's because I'm excited to try it. I can smell it. The scent is really nice and refreshing. So first things I notice are that it's really smooth and silky feeling, and it lathers up really quick. And I've actually used this several times on my hair already this week, and it's really nice. It does not leave my hair feeling stripped or stringy. Of course, the conditioner plays into that too, but it applied really easily, and there was really no drag with it. I've made shampoo formulas before, and they had a lot of drag. So when you're like rubbing them in, they don't glide really easily. Like it feels like your hair's just draggy, like your hand is dragging over your hair. And so this formula was not like that. It was very silky and rubbed in and lathered up really easily. And it rinsed off really nice too. So this is a really nice, simple shampoo formula. And I love the Mandarin theme with it too. You can easily make this for yourself at home. For the extract, you can just follow my extract video and make your own Mandarin peel extract. I like mandarins because they are very low on their coumarin levels. So that means coumarins are like what's in lime peels and limes and other citrus fruits, where they can be irritating and they can increase photosensitivity. And so mandarin peels are some of the lowest coumarins that they have in their content, of their chemical constituents. So I like using mandarin peels and mandarins in skincare and hair care because it's just less irritating and it smells so good. So there you have it, a simple mandarin orange shampoo that you can easily make yourself at home. My hair feels really nice and I love this formula. I hope you enjoy this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe and enter any comments or questions you might have, and don't forget to check out my Patreon. I will see you all next time. Toodaloo!